This is the Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
Let's go nuts! It's Jimmy Nuts! Right out of the door!
With your hosts, Mark Martinez.
Remember, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things.
And the English Professor.
It's called a garbage can, not a garbage cannot.
Hey, this is former WWE superstar Duke, the Dumpster Drosy, and you are listening to the Can Crushers Podcast.
It feels so good to be back on Can Crusher Spotlight. Hello, everyone. I am your host of Can Crusher Spotlight, Mark Martinez, and it's been a crazy whirlwind couple weeks if you just listen to the spotlights with the interviews and everything. So, I'm starting with a beer. We normally don't drink beers on the spotlight, but I'm starting with a beer. One, because I'm scared to death of the person I'm interviewing. You'll find out in said minutes or so. Or you looked at the thumbnail and you know it's Meyers. But this has just been crazy. I want to thank everyone for the love and support over the last 2 years. If you listen to Sunday's show, you know it's our 2-year anniversary this week. So we celebrated on Sunday. But I want to bring the love over to the Can Crusher Spotlight as well. Guys, we've had Al Snow. We've had the Killer Bees. We've had Jared Fritz, NWA referee. We've had Chris LaRusso. We've had Jimmy Nuts. We've had the OG, Duke the Dumpster Drosy. We've just had a ton. Our favorite Ray Lynn. The list can go on and on. All the OEW stars. It's just been unbelievable. And you know, last week I had to kind of shift gears. The job, picking up as a garbage man. That's the inside joke. Picking up. It's been just busy. Throw some other stuff on. We've been working 12-hour days. So just wanted to tell you where I'm coming from, why there was not a spotlight last week. The English Professor put out a nice post for me. All great, fine, and dandy. But we've rescheduled the guest for about a month down the line as we have things, popping up. But that guest will be back. Understood that, as you call it, our shoot job, my shoot job, had gotten in the way of podcasting and bringing you Can Crushers. But we jumped right back on the ship this week, and we got Meyers to come on. This is a quick interview. We talk a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Guys, wrestling is in limbo right now. You have in Ohio, wrestling's not coming back for a long time. In Pennsylvania, possibly the end of July, beginning of August, you're going to be able to have 50% of the crowd there. It's just crazy. It really is. You have all the wrestlers now going to Instagram or Facebook or whatever, kind of doing their own thing to stay relevant. And that's what we're trying to do here, too. Bring them on here. Keep them up, keep them fresh, indie stars, big stars, whatever. We want to continue to do that on our part, too. But with some doing Instagram stuff, you're getting all the interviews there. So, are we going to take a break on the spotlight? Hell no. Hell no. It's just, we're going to transition a little bit. We know who we're going to get. We have some people. But I'm just saying it's just a little bit of a transition of what's going on with the spotlight. We'll continue to get people. It's just going to be a crapshoot. That's where I'm going to leave it at that. But Meyers, I saw her at Rise a couple years back. We've been tossing stuff back and forth, and finally she reached back out to me this past week and said, "Hey, let's do this." And I said, "Yes, let's do this." So we recorded it. We got it all set up. And it's a good interview. You guys have to listen. This laugh that she has is unbelievable. It really is. It really is. But I don't want to give any more away on the interview. Guys, I want to stop and talk a little bit about Collar and Elbow right now. As you know, we're the voice a little bit for Collar and Elbow and OVW and stuff. OVW still doesn't know when they're coming back in Kentucky. Collar and Elbow. If you ordered anything from Collar and Elbow, especially the Shad Gaspar shirts, there's one person working right now in Collar and Elbow. Give them time. The stuff is coming. They're going to the post office like 1 or 2 times a day, dropping a ton off, processing what they can. Just give them time. Your order's there. You've probably got your confirmation and everything. It's coming. Just I want to put that out, as Collar and Elbow kind of sent messages out saying the same thing. But I want you guys to know it's coming. Trust me. I have not got mine yet, so it's not a big deal. I know it's coming, without a doubt. So, if you want to go and order stuff from Collar and Elbow, you still can. Go to collarandelbow.com. You hear us talk about the hats, hoodies, the tees, everything that they have. The designs are all wrestling related. The BWO for the blue meanie. I have the Macho Man one. I'm just in the cutoff right now. I'm not going to lie and say I have a Collar and Elbow shirt on right now, because I don't. It's hot. I'm sweaty. I just got done working at the pool or, picking up garbage. Everything going on in town. It's just crazy. So, yeah. When you check out from Collar and Elbow, use Can Crushers. All one word. Capital C in Can, capital C in Crushers, and you'll get 10% off your order. It's a pretty sweet deal. You've heard Chad and John talk about it. We love them. Paul even has a Job Squad shirt. Maybe we'll get Paul back on. He's just a busy man. He really is a busy man. He's, now that he's married, whatcha, that's the whip. No. All right. We're going to go and we're going to listen to Al Snow's Collar and Elbow message. I'm going to down this beer. We're going to talk to Megan Meyers, and then I'm going to wrap this up and tell you what's up, what's on the docket, what's going on next. All in the wrap-up. All right, guys.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. 2 entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
This is Megan Meyers, and you're listening to the Can Crushers podcast.
And welcome back to Can Crushers. Man, I don't know how I got Megan to come on the show. I'm really scared. Like, she scares me when I see her at events, so I kind of go the other way. But I'm pretty impressed that I got her, so I'm just putting everything aside. Welcome to the show, Black Rose, Megan Meyers. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
That's the part that scares me right there at those shows, because that laugh, it's like it goes through my soul, and I wonder if you're going to come after me one of these times.
You never know.
I know. Megan, I know we haven't had a lot of wrestling around this area in a while. Before we get to wrestling and everything, what have you been doing like the last 3 months now with the whole quarantine and everything?
Just getting ready for the next time I'm in the ring and coming back more aggressive and stronger than ever. I see on Facebook that you have some of these aerobics, like demented aerobics. I don't know what you call them, but gymnastics.
Well, gymnastics, yes, but you're bending like Bray Wyatt. Yes, thank you. Where did you get this? Have you always been like that flexible with gymnastics in high school and everything?
Yeah, I was. I used to be a dancer, and I took gymnastics and danced in competition.
Oh, nice. All through your childhood? Like, did mom and dad bring you to these?
Yeah.
Nice. So, who introduced you, as we get into wrestling now, who introduced you to this crazy sport of wrestling that we all love?
Well, when I was younger, I used to watch The Undertaker a lot because he's mean and scary, and everybody's afraid of him, and I'm a big fan of the Boogeyman.
You like the Boogeyman? Many people don't say they like the Boogeyman. What do you like about the Boogeyman?
Well, I like when he comes out and eats worms and scares everybody. Yeah, I really like that.
Have you ever eaten worms?
Of course not.
Why? The worms are not bad. You're like going fishing or something, just toss one in your mouth?
No.
Okay, I really have never heard anybody besides you, so that's a first here on Can Crushers that is a fan of the Boogeyman. Did you ever kind of, growing up, slither around your house like the Boogeyman and then smash a clock on your head?
Maybe once or twice.
Yes.
I can't remember.
Every kid, yeah, well, you probably can't remember because you smashed all the clocks on your head. Concussions.
Yeah.
So you named The Undertaker, of course. That's a favorite across the board for everybody in the Boogeyman. But how about the female side of this? What was the female that made you go, man, that's why I can do this?
It would be Lita.
Lita. You do fly around the ring like her at times. You really do.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that.
So what was your deciding factor, though, to get into the wrestling ring? I mean, we all know, I like this side of it, you like being in the ring, but why? Why? Is it just because you really like beating people up?
That, and it was a chance to show that I can do anything that I put my mind to. And, well, I guess in my case, I'll be beating people up and making them hurt really bad.
Yeah, you really do like making people hurt. Knives, like recently you posted a video on YouTube. You're licking a knife. What do you get? Do you like stabbing people? Do you like that type of thing?
It's all about fear.
Expand on that. It is. I understand where you're going, but you like being in control of everybody's fear?
Yeah. When you control somebody's mind, that's when you can really take control of them. Find out what they fear. Scare them. Then you're in control.
So is there any one opponent that you know without a doubt that you control all the time? Like, anytime you've had a match with him or her, that it's a no-brainer because you're inside their head?
I've wrestled a lot of people. I would have to say, gosh, I can't remember.
I know you've been in the ring a few times with Katie Arquette or Honey Badger.
Definitely Katie, I think. Katie Arquette.
That's who I thought you would go to right off the bat. That's kind of why I'd led with her. Because Katie, more worried about the movies and everything, you just get right into her mind and just take it over. You're like a demon inside.
Yeah. She wants to be in a movie, I'll put her in a horror movie.
You're a horror movie yourself, and I mean that in the nicest way possible. You really are.
I take that as a compliment any day.
You should. Let's talk about some of your trainers. Where did you officially train to wrestle?
At Rise Wrestling in Pennsylvania.
And who were who were the guys or gals there that said showed you the right way to do all of this?
Brandon Kay and Chris LaRusso a little bit.
We've had Chris LaRusso on the show a few times. He's a stand-up guy. In the ring, we differ, but Rise kind of on a hiatus right now. Let's talk about that, because I know this is probably a subject that you'll like to talk about and spew some of your knowledge. No more Stronghold Arena, as there's some issues that they're not in the mall anymore. Do you know if and when Rise is going to come back?
I am not sure of that. But either way, wherever Rise goes, sorry, I forgot what I was going to say.
Okay.
Cool.
You've wrestled all over, though. You've been in Ohio. You've been here. So let's talk about some of the other federations or promotions or whatever you want to call them that you have a stronghold in. Kind of. I'll let you lead the way with this one because you've been all over. Tell me some of the places that you'd like to wrestle.
That I would like to wrestle in?
No, that you've already wrestled. Yeah, you've already wrestled at. I'm sorry, I worded that stupidly.
Oh. Nickel City Wrestling in Buffalo, New York, which I hold the women's title right now, and Ohio Championship Wrestling in Akron, where I again hold the women's title.
So you're a belt collector as well.
That's what I'm trying to do.
How much wrestling outside of your promotions that you wrestle at and everything do you get to watch? AEW, NWA, WWE, NXT, any of those? How much do you kind of sit and study some of the other guys and gals?
A good bit. I like watching New Japan Wrestling. I watch Shingo Takagi, and I'm a fan of Will Ospreay.
Will's amazing. Will is amazing. One of my favorite wrestlers out there. Yeah. Did you get to watch or experience any of Hana Kimura's matches? I
have not yet, but I look forward to it.
Yeah, you really should. That's a sad. We've touched on it on our shows before, losing her, her battle with suicide, more or less. Such a young star in the business, and I just wanted to see if you had to touch on that at all.
It's just a shame that such a amazing wrestler and is just gone from this world. I wish I would have had the opportunity to wrestle her and see what we could have done in the ring one day, hopefully.
Yeah, that's actually a great question that we always leave at the end, so we'll get there. Let's get to some of the silly questions that we always ask to kind of just break things up. I want you to brag about what you've done in the last 30 days. I mean, there's not been any wrestling. You've been putting some cool videos on Facebook, but what's the best thing that you've done in the last 30 days?
Well, the best thing I've done is I take kickboxing classes, and I just get to punch the bag as hard as I can, and sometimes I imagine my opponent's face is on it, so that takes on a lot of aggression, since I can't wrestle right now,
So the stress reliever for you is still there, which a lot of other wrestlers don't get to have, so that's a bonus for you. You're continuing to train.
Of course.
Always a great silly question that everybody wants to know on Can Crushers. What's your favorite ice cream?
My favorite ice cream is chocolate fudge brownie.
Nice. Too chocolatey.
If anybody wants to bring me any to a show, you can.
Do you have a favorite place to get your ice cream from?
No, I don't. Nowhere in particular.
Nowhere in particular. Nice. Two more silly questions, then we'll get this back on track. What kind of car do you drive? Because clearly the Can Crushers Nation likes to know about vehicles. I don't even know where this came from, but everybody wants me to ask people when I interview them what kind of car they drive. So what kind of car do you drive?
Now, why would I give away that, though? People might follow me.
Right? You're the only one that's actually caught on to that question. Other people have actually said, I've had this, I've had that. You understand that there's kind of weirdos out there that might want to stalk you.
Weird people. I don't need to deal with that.
Right. You do not need to deal with that. And finally, you have all your apps on your phone. You're very technology oriented. But if you could only have one app in your life, what app would it be?
Actually, I'll have to say Instagram because I feel like things get seen more promoting-wise, and there's a lot more eyes on Instagram.
Okay. What do you have coming up here in the near future? I know some wrestling in Pennsylvania is getting, we're going to be able to open up at the middle, end of July. Do you have some bookings coming up that you can tell some people about?
None that I know of right now, but I'll be sure to keep you updated.
And you can get all those on our social media here, and we'll get to our social media in a little bit, but let's talk the old school question that everybody likes to know when we talk wrestling. What is your Mount Rushmore of wrestling? Who are the 4 people that have made you say this is why wrestling is what it is? And they don't have to be your favorites. You don't have to put the boogeyman up there. But who's the best out there that you think?
First is Shingo Takagi. Second, Will Ospreay. Third is Daniel Bryan. And Chigusa Nagayo.
Oh, my God. That's a name a lot of people don't know, and I was kind of wondering where you were going. How do you know that? Wow.
She is a wrestling legend in Japan. She's been wrestling for 50 years, and I had the privilege of getting a class with her.
You went... Was it when she was over in the States, or did you go over to Japan to do this class?
It was when she was in the States in Long Island, New York.
Excellent. And what did you learn from her? Nice twist on the whole interview, by the way, that we can talk about this. And oh my God, what did you learn from her?
Just the style of Japan wrestling, just certain little things that really make a match. Little key things.
What is the... This is going to probably dig into your head a little bit. What is the biggest thing in a match? Do you feel that the start, the middle, or this is a trick question, or the finish is where the match is? As a talent, I've really not asked anybody this either, but where do you feel the biggest pop in the match?
I feel the most important part of a match is the whole thing, beginning to end. Every little thing has to mean something.
Storytelling, correct?
Yes.
What is as we head to the tail end, what is the best advice that you've gotten from anybody in the locker room?
Well, I would have to say just believe in who you are and take what people say into consideration. You can't just be inside your own head. You have to take pieces from everybody.
That's actually great life advice too, Megan. Because a lot of people, especially in today's world, what's going on and about, and we usually don't touch on stuff like that a lot, but everybody knows people should listen to that. More or less, it's shut up and listen, and you'll figure out what's going on, right? To put it nicely.
Yeah, that's right, I guess.
You've been in the business for a while now. You have the next little girl or boy coming up to you. What advice do you give them, but not saying what you just said? What can you tell them to do in the ring?
Well, I'd be aggressive, of course. You can't let people step on you.
That's great.
Yeah, that's what I would tell them.
That's amazing. Yeah, you shouldn't. Now, finally, this is always my favorite question. It really is. If you could book a match with yourself and anyone ever, alive or past, who is your dream match against? Where would it be, and what kind of stipulation do you have in this match?
I'd say it would have to be in Chiba, Japan, in the Marvelous wrestling ring against, this is a hard one. It would either have to be Shingo Takagi or Tagusa Nagayo.
Wow. All right. I figured it was going to be Nagayo right off the bat, so you shocked me there a little bit. But is that one of your main goals, is to get over to Japan to wrestle in the near future?
Yes, I've already had one tryout for Marvelous last year. I don't intend on stopping. I'm getting to Japan. I'm going to become one of the best someday. It's not if it will happen, it's when it will happen.
Yeah.
And I'm not stopping here.
Besides Japan, okay, and this is my, Can Crushers fantasy booking. If you had NWA, ROH, WWE, or AEW all call you, same contracts on the table, you're not looking at audience, this, that, or the other, you're looking at in-ring talent that you want to work with, okay? Where do you go? Where do you go out of those four?
Hands down, I would choose AEW.
Why? Now I'll be the pot stirrer. Why are you picking AEW?
There's such amazing talent and storylines, and I love the whole energy of just that particular show. Everything about it. I never get tired or bored of it.
Yeah, it's fresh every week. The booking has been unbelievable. So if you get to watch one, you make sure you watch AEW all the time?
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's another gal from our neck of the woods in AEW. Have you ever crossed paths with Britt Baker?
No, I never have.
You never have, but it's a possibility in the near future that you could.
Never say never.
Never say never. All right, Megan, I know you have lots going on, getting ready. You possibly go to another kickboxing class here, but we always want to know, tell us where we can find you on social media, YouTube, anything. Let's find, so we can get some more followers.
Instagram, it's Megan_3_Myers. And Facebook, it's just Megan Meyers.
And did you have something going on YouTube as well, or did you just post that the promo?
I'll have a channel up soon.
You'll have a channel up soon. There you go, guys. Yeah. Megan Meyers, the Black Rose. Fill us in a little bit on the Black Rose real quick before we let you go. Where'd the Black Rose come from?
Well, I have to say, Christopher LaRusso helped me with that name.
All right, Megan. I guess we're going to have to ask LaRusso if he would let me have him come back on the show. He really doesn't like me. He probably likes you more.
I don't know. We kind of have a frenemy relationship, I'd say.
All right, Megan. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll talk to you real soon. Once everything gets back up, we'll have you come on and promote some of your matches where you're at. Is that okay?
Yeah, it is.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
So as Megan and I wrapped up this interview, I still tried to find out where the Black Rose came from, and she would not tell me. She just said, even off air, you have to talk to LaRusso, you have to talk to LaRusso. Man, I'm not going to be able to talk to LaRusso. LaRusso hates me. He literally hates me. But it's not about Chris LaRusso, nor should it ever be about Chris LaRusso. Megan Meyers, how about the New Japan that she loves? Man, a match with her and Nagayo would be unbelievable. Big fan of Will Ospreay. Megan knows her wrestling. She really does. And we'd love to push. If we could do anything to help her get over, wrestle at Marvelous in Japan, that would be wonderful. Man, this was a fun interview. It really was. Megan, short and to the point. She doesn't dick around. She gets right there. She tells you what you want to need, and that's it. No more, no less. Megan Meyers. Again, I want to thank Megan for stopping by Can Crushers. As I said during the interview, we will have her back on once wrestling gets back up and about to find out where she's at and what's going on with the Black Rose, Megan Meyers. Guys, thanks for listening to Can Crusher Spotlight once again. I am your host, Mark Martinez. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. All of them are at CanCrushers69. Don't forget to send us some emails. We had another great Ask Can Crushers this past Sunday. Go back and listen to that as well. Send us an email at cancrusher69@gmail.com. Head over to our website. It's pretty stagnant right now. We don't lie to you. It's pretty stagnant because there's no wrestling up. I haven't put that we're going to WrestleCade yet because we just don't know. We don't know what's going on in wrestling. As I said earlier, Ohio's not letting anybody wrestle. Pennsylvania's only doing 50% shows here in the near future. But we will still bring you great interviews and chicanery on the weekends, without a doubt. Glad to be back this weekend. Guys, like, share, just tell everybody all about us. You know, you want somebody on the show that we haven't had on the show, send us an email and let us know. Anything like that. You're listening to Megan Meyers and your talent that you've worked at Rise, you worked at IWC, OVW, blah, 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 you know that. Send us an email too saying, hey, can we set up something? I'd love to come on Can Crushers and talk wrestling. It doesn't even need to be about you. Look, we had Matt Bish on talking about road stories. You want to come on and tell us some shitty-ass road stories? That'll be great. We love stuff like that. Who you ran into, how you hide from Virgil as well, we'll do it. We love it. We love talking wrestling. And we love helping promote you as well. But remember, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things. It's called the Garbage Can, not a Garbage Cannot. See you Sunday.